The moment hangs between heartbeats. Steel breathes. And somewhere above a frozen continent, the future of war tilts without warning. Cold air grips the concrete on November 10th, 1943. Engines have gone quiet, but tension has not. Above Germany, uncertainty hums louder than propellers ever could. On the apron rests a single aircraft, captured, enormous, unsettling. Not merely aluminum and bolts, a challenge made tangible, and one German test pilot is about to answer it. Low haze drapes Rechlin, the nerve center of Luftwaffe flight testing. Footsteps cross the tarmac with purpose. Hans-Werner Lerche approaches, chief test pilot, engineer, a man known for speaking truths others feared to hear. Before him stands a Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, seized scarcely 2 weeks earlier. To many German eyes, it is an affront. Bloated, barrel-chested, offensively wide. Pilots sneer, calling it a flying milk bottle. American engineering, they insist, is blunt, unsophisticated, industrial excess. A nation, they joke, better suited to refrigerators than fighters. Briefings had reinforced the belief. Heavy, inelegant, brute force masquerading as design. Germany's Messerschmitt Bf-109 and Focke-Wulf Fw-190 were scalpels. This thing was a hammer. Within 90 minutes, Lerche would write conclusions history would confirm, and leadership would quietly shelve. Germany crafted fighters for individual brilliance. America built fighters for industrial survival. And in total war, that distinction would decide everything. Lerche's life had unfolded in the sky. Born in 1916 in Breslau, he learned to fly gliders in the early 1930s when money was thin, but resolve was not. As Germany rearmed in secret, opportunity followed ambition. By 1939, he arrived at Rechlin, the Luftwaffe's answer to Wright Field and Farnborough. Most combat pilots mastered one aircraft, maybe two. Lerche mastered them all. Experimental prototypes, frontline fighters, captured enemy machines. His logbook would exceed 120 different types. Trained as an aeronautical engineer, his evaluations cut cleanly. Failures were named, enemy advantages documented. Such honesty earned quiet hostility from officials who preferred reassurance over reality. But when Lerche spoke, even his critics listened. The Thunderbolt carried its own path to this moment. Its pilot, Lieutenant William Roach of the 358th Fighter Squadron, 355th Fighter Group, had lost his bearings during an escort mission on November 7, 1943. Weather closed in. Fuel dwindled. Formation dissolved. One pilot crash-landed on a shoreline. Another vanished into the North Sea. Only one aircraft limped back to England. Roach spotted what he believed was a British airfield. He landed, followed a vehicle, shut down. Then clarity struck like ice. This was not England. It was a Luftwaffe base in France. Rifles rose. Roach became a prisoner of war. His aircraft, Beetle, became a prize. The Luftwaffe moved quickly. Allied fighters haunted the skies. Beetle was rushed inland to Rechlin before destruction could find it. Repainted in German markings, labeled T9 plus FK, it joined Circus Rosarius, the unit dedicated to captured aircraft. Mockery followed. Too large, too heavy, too American. Proof, some claimed, that Allied philosophy was flawed. Lerche ignored the laughter. No serious engineer built without reason. He circled the machine slowly. The radial engine dominated everything. The fuselage wrapped around it like a steel drum. Landing gear stood thick and uncompromising. German fighters were sharp and predatory. This was industrial, naval, intentional. Closer inspection dissolved assumptions. Welds were precise, panel alignment flawless, materials consistent throughout. This was not crude work. It was disciplined mass production, manufactured to tolerances Germany was already failing to sustain. The cockpit stopped him cold. It was vast. Compared to the suffocating Bf-109, this felt cavernous. German pilots felt disoriented inside it. But as Lerche settled in, understanding followed. This space was deliberate. German cockpits demanded contortion. Long sorties punished the body. Performance came first. Comfort was irrelevant. Here, endurance was engineered. A padded seat, freedom to move, clear canopy lines, visibility that inspired confidence. Then the instruments, color-coded, red and green arcs marking safe limits. No calculations required. One glance, complete comprehension. Intelligence explained the logic. American squadrons flew with pilots from across the world, free French, Polish, others barely fluent in English. Green meant safe. Red meant danger. Universal language. Human-centered design. German gauges assumed mastery. The Thunderbolt assumed reality. Controls followed reason. Throttle, mixture, propeller pitch, grouped intuitively. Fuel systems labeled clearly. Everything built for clarity, not ego. The Bf-109 punished mistakes on the ground. Narrow gear, poor visibility. Ground loops were routine. Skill compensated for design. But by late 1943, training hours were evaporating. Fuel was scarce. Pilots reached combat unready. Germany needed forgiving aircraft. It still built machines for aces. Even the checklist revealed intent. Simple, sequential, written for fatigue, not brilliance. The engine fired. The Pratt & Whitney R2800 Double Wasp thundered awake, then settled into uncanny smoothness. Power without vibration. Reliability embodied. American engines endured. German engines increasingly failed. Factories varied. Parts mismatched. Wear accelerated. This one felt inexhaustible. Mass production perfected. Taxiing confirmed it. Wide stance, locked tailwheel, stable tracking, clear forward view. Errors forgiven. Lerche later recalled forgetting the tailwheel lock once and surviving, a lapse that would have wrecked a Bf-109. Takeoff surged forward, acceleration strong. A longer roll, but unwavering. Climb steady. Handling not nimble, but predictable, truthful. At altitude, the turbo supercharger revealed its purpose. Above 15,000 feet, power refused to fade. Dies were confident, roll rate impressed. For 90 minutes, Lerche pressed every boundary. The aircraft never betrayed him. The realization settled quietly. This was not the ultimate duelist. It was the ultimate operational weapon. German philosophy chased perfection. American philosophy chased availability. A flawless Bf-109 in expert hands could dominate a fight. But perfection was rare. Aces dwindled. Maintenance collapsed. The P-47 assumed damage, exhaustion, imperfection, and it kept flying. Landing was effortless. Gear absorbed impact. Ground crews watched, waiting for sarcasm. Lerche paused, then spoke. "It is the best designed operational fighter I have ever flown." That night, he documented everything: performance, systems, handling, strategic implication. And then the warning. Germany builds fighters for excellence. America builds fighters for war. They will produce more and keep more airborne. The report circulated, was debated, filed, and ignored. By early 1944, Thunderbolts crowded German skies, relentless, repeating, unending. Damaged aircraft returned home. German output fractured. Bombing crippled factories. quality collapsed. Numbers vanished. Lerche lived long enough to watch his prediction unfold, not through inferior skill, but through superior sustainability. The P-47 was never graceful, it was inevitable. And in war, inevitability decides victory. If this story reshaped how you define strength, carry that question forward and reconsider where history is truly won.